So today's track is a very different type of track. I really like it. It's a really cool track called Back with a Fresh Twist. I say I really like it even if it's my own track. I don't say it often. This one I did on the 22nd of December 2018 and it was one of those where I just wrote it in as part of the session, so everything you hear here is done within an hour or two from start to finish of the idea. And it's massively inspired by one of my favourite bands that a lot of people don't realise is Fun Loving Criminals. I've been a really big fan of Fun Loving Criminals since the mid-90s when they came out, and but I never saw them, and they broke up for many years, and then in the last few years they got back together. They've been playing and I've seen them a few times, and they're just brilliant band live, just so good. And they've got this brilliant mix of this kind of hip hop or like they've got a live drummer, but it's kind of almost like drum loops. I guess originally it sounded like drum loops, so again they had a live drummer, and this really cool just kind of looping the chords back and forwards and then grooving on it. And they're just fabulous band. If you ever get to see them live, well worth doing. And so this one I wanted to write a kind of Fun Loving Criminals song. And so I found this drum loop. Actually, it wasn't hip hop, it was basically like a break beat, and it kind of really had the nice vibe to it. And I just put that beat down and just layered stuff on top, found sounds, found ideas, and then somehow I put a little flex that reminds me of War of the Worlds. That meow, 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 meow. You know it. And I'd seen, I don't know if it was at that time, it might have been, I guess probably recent to that point, that we went to see War of the Worlds. Actually, it couldn't have been because Leonardo was born. Maybe it was only last year we saw War of the Worlds. Well, maybe it was just before that. Anyway, we saw War of the Worlds at the O2 Arena, and it was really loud, and it was quite intense. And Mina really enjoyed it. Leonardo enjoyed it as well, I think, although he got a bit bored at one point. It's a long show, a couple of hours long. But anyway, I digress. So it's got that kind of War of the Worlds vibe in it. And vocally, there is one song that I did in 2013 called Fat Freddy, where I rapped. And in that song, I'd finished everything, I finished all the songs, and I was just sending them all off to somebody to mix. And there was something about that song that just didn't sit right. And I was like, you know what it needs? It needs something different vocally. It needs a rap. And so I literally did my classic one take rap, and it actually came out alright. And I never tried rapping before in my life, and I was like, wow, I'm not going to beat that, so I left it in, and I haven't tried rapping since, although it was kind of fun. So this song, Fun Loving Criminals, he raps, he sings as well, but he kind of rap sings. It's very cool. Huey does a very cool, he's got his own style, so I kind of wanted to channel that. So I put this almost like megaphone distorted speaker distortion sound over the vocal, and then I hadn't a clue what to actually rap, so I just thought, well, since it's Fun Loving Criminals inspired track, I'm just going to steal their lyrics, something I've never done before on any of my songs. These are just placeholder lyrics, by the way. I'm not going to keep them like that, but it's just to try and get me into it. So I used their song from 1996 called The King of New York, and so I remember I brought the lyrics up on a screen, and I was trying to read them and rap it whilst recording. And you hear halfway through this track, Back with a Fresh Twist, I do the verse again because I couldn't scroll quick enough. And you just hear me running out of breath and laughing because I'm just trying to keep up with the words, and they're so quick. But then I did actually come up with, in the first part of this song, there's the King of New York chorus, but then in the second part of the song, I sort of segued into an improvised chorus, and actually I quite like it. So when I redo the song eventually, like all of them, but this one I will redo, and I will get rid of the lyrics that I had, replace them with my own lyrics, and then get rid of that chorus and replace it with and solidify the chorus that's on there. And then the last bit was a guitar solo, and when I've seen Fun Loving Criminals live, Huey can really play the guitar, man. He can play the guitar very well, and he's got a little tremolo arm, whammy bar as other people call it, and he creates quite big, sometimes quite psychedelic sounds, and I wanted something that was noise. It was almost like you're fighting the guitar, and it's like screaming and this psychedelic-y sound that's just kind of rather than necessarily very melodic and very flowing that. And I really like the way the guitar comes in on this track. It's got this kind of siren that rises up, and then it's kind of noisy. It's like you're fighting the beast. And so I really like this track. I think it's cool. It's very different to my normal stuff, or my old stuff I should say. There's a pattern in the last couple of years. I've been moving towards more electronic elements to my music, and in time there'll be more of a synthesis between the two. So I really like this track, and I hope you do too. It's kind of got energy, and yeah, I think it's a cool track. Enjoy it.